Hello, everybody.
Hey guys, how
We're
goes it?
here. I know that Jay is here already. Hi, Jay. How you doing? You crazy Irish bastard. How are you doing? Anyway,
What's good, my dude?
are you asking that of Jay or me?
Oh, I was asking you, but Jake can answer if he likes.
Well, he doesn't know how I feel. No, I'm good. I'm doing pretty good. I've been gone for well over a week, but I'm doing pretty good. I had to watch someone's pets at their home for a good long while while they were away. Hello, Eric. How you doing? And Turtle Time is here too, of course. My troll has to be here. He's here for every video or stream
Oh,
lately.
you got a personal troll tag?
Kind of a troll. He likes to make funny comments and whatnot in my videos, so I kind of consider it kind of like a troll.
Oh, that at least you're famous, man.
Hey, yeah, I like it. Yeah, Turtle Time is fun. He's been on every single live stream I've had over the last few weeks or so. He's been there playing around, always around, having interesting information and knowledge that I don't think is really relevant to any of the topics or things I'm doing at the time. But hey, it's fun to have interesting conversations. Uh, Brainstormer of Pop Culture is here as well. Hey, man, how you doing? It's good to see you.
That's a long nickname, but a good one.
Yeah. Well, I remember him because he sent me what was it? Was it a PDF? He asked me if I would look at his comic book and give my input on it on what he had so far.
Oh, fellow creator
And
then.
yeah, yeah. He sent it to me. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." It was like a short script for a few well, kind of like a prologue for his book. So, it was interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was. He can correct me, but what was it? Kind of sounded like it was kind of a post-apocalyptic type story of some sort, but or something like that. And I think that the prologue had to do with some sort of smuggling or job of some sort, but I can't. It's been a while since I read it. I'd have to probably read it again to remember. He can correct me in the comment section. Since we are talking about comic book projects for me, for Spike, and for anybody else who wants to talk about it, you're free to do so.
Yeah. I mean, this is. We were talking about it privately in the DMs, so I figured out
Yeah.
why not, make it legit and open.
Yeah, why not? Uh, well, I'm assuming you mean while I was away, I made myself staple of other live streams. I feel betrayed now. Shame on you, Turtle Time. Uh, oh yeah, it's a sci-fi adventure. Okay, yeah, I couldn't I remember if it was science fiction or if it was post-apocalyptic because it kind of the way it was structured and whatnot. I guess it could have worked either way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It could go like both ways at the same time.
Well, I mean, you could do post-apocalyptic future too. So, but
Yeah,
yes,
plus,
thank you.
science fiction can take place even in the past. We have
Hmm.
themes like steampunk and arcane punk.
Yeah, I've considered. I remember I worked because it was a long time ago when I was in high school. I had this the assignment for creative writing where it's like we could write the final assignment was write whatever you wanted. And at the time I was really into watching like Trigun and other assorted Trigun and I think Cowboy Bebop were running about the same
Oh,
time.
what was it like 98?
It was around 98, early 2000s.
Yeah, yeah. I watched those shows too at around that time.
It was early. It was early 2000s. I think I was either a junior or senior in high school, so it was between 2002 and 2003, somewhere around those years. And I decided I wanted to write a story very similar to that, and I was obsessed with the project so much that I just kept on writing, even though I was going to be late with the assignment. I never finished the story. Of course, looking back now, I've considered going back to it and trying it again, but basically making kind of a futuristic, well, not futuristic, but kind of more like the old west, but more steampunk and more with maybe a bit more of like a, oh, well, it would basically be very similar to like the Wild Arms video games, where it's got a little mix of everything, a little bit of the fantasy, a little bit of the science fiction, a little bit of the Western feel. Something like that was what I was thinking of doing at some point.
It doesn't sound bad. Like I remember my well, when I was in high school, it was like the first time I pitched anything to Marvel, and I sent it. And Bob Harris was an editor in chief at the time, and he told me I didn't know how to write, which was completely correct because I just sent him a Thor ripoff.
Hmm,
So, but it
interesting.
inspired me to get good.
Hmm, yeah. Do turtles ride water horses? I can't answer that question.
I don't see why not if you strap them properly.
It's classified information. I can't tell you. If I did, I'd have to kill you. No. Uh, I don't know, Jay. Loving you is a very hard thing to do. I don't know if I want to do that.
Lots of
Okay.
turtles and tortoises, and it becomes awesome punk.
Okay.
Why it's like that, like turtles in time?
Let's do Teenage Mutant Ninja Tortoises.
Yeah.
Parody of Ninja Turtles. Ah, I hit my desk. I'm okay. So, since Spike. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, but by the way, I listened to your live stream because I now I
Yeah.
remember how this all came through. You're making your sword designs for your transformation device for your story, which is inspired in stuff like what's the name of that show? Super Sentai.
Similar to things like Super Sentai, Common Right. I the way that I planned it out now, it's closer to like what Common Rider is. So it's not really a team. It's more of like a few in only a couple people who have the ability to destroy monsters and stuff of that nature. But one of the things was when I watched Professor Geek do a video quite a long time back, um, where he was talking about all the Comicsgate related titles, and he was saying that what would be really great is if everything was shared in its own, individual universe, like all of these people knew each other, kind of like how Marvel and DC does that. And when he said that, it kind of got me thinking, it's like, why don't I do something similar? Because I've kind of done that already in some regard. Because before the idea to make, this Star Knight character a more of a Sentai or Kamen Rider style character, he was a standard superhero, like for a Western comic. And basically, I was like, why don't I just take some of those ideas or some of the characters I had and just create kind of like a tokusatsu style superhero universe where I could work on several different characters or have people give me idea, create a universe around it and whatnot. And so I kind of just started working on stuff like that now with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
different ideas.
I think it's a mark of the time, somewhat. What we call a mythopia, which is
Mhm.
the difference between a myth and a mythopia is that myths came to be culturally and they represent
Mhm.
aspects of their culture, whilst mythopias are like Star Wars stuff we know it's totally artificial and for the sake of telling stories, a literary purpose.
Mhm.
And I think as far back as I can remember, being like uh, a blatant mythopia. I think the first guy I've I know who made it was this my favorite novelist actually, Kim Newman, who wrote Anno Dracula, which was it's a series of novels that takes place around Bram Stoker's Dracula. But what if
Mhm.
Dracula had won? And it turns out like
Ah.
Jack the Ripper was a vampire, and it goes to the First World War and stuff like that. And Alan Moore actually read that and loved it, and that's how he got the idea for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which brings together
Mm.
all these Victorian characters in the story. That's the story. It's kind of like that what you're doing, but taking the archetype of the what how do you call that, like the is there one of those names in Japan, like shonen or whatever, for these types of
It's called tokusatsu when it's in live action.
tokusatsu? Okay. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, that's the genre that all things like Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, and even Godzilla fall under when it's live action with suit actors in costumes.
So you're taking the tokusatsu convention and making it like an organic universe. Like
Mhm.
Godzilla lives in the same place that you know Kamen Rider lives in the same place. Like I don't know, the Power
I
Rangers
don't think
and Ultraman and whatever.
yeah, something like that. Although I don't think because Godzilla has his own mythology and he's in his own world.
Oh
I
no,
don't think he's
but
ever.
I mean the archetype. The
Yeah, 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 yeah.
oh,
That's pretty much the
Dalton's over
plan.
here. Hey man, what's
Hey,
up?
Dalton, good to see you, man. Uh, I know I saw Brainstormer was talking about his comic book in a galaxy where of children and soldiers turned into mercenaries. Like, what is that? GOTG.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy meets the Expendables, which that sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah, it sounds rad.
Uh,
It sounds like something you should pitch for a video game too.
yeah,
I can picture like playing that.
yeah. I could see that as a game too. Well, also that was kind of what I was thinking with the other one I was talking about, the kind of steampunk um Western thing. I was thinking it would work really because I had a really crazy idea for uh it as like an RPG or something. Because I was like, I kind of want to share two sides of of the conflict that goes on in the world, and probably the best way to do that is to have two individual parties going through different things at roughly the same time. Might be overly ambitious, and I don't have any way of really, programming a video game currently, but that, that's bye, mom.
Maybe you don't. I was talking about this with Crumple Point. Actually, it's funny
Hmm.
he came
Yeah,
up because we were talking about the logistics of making comics. I'm currently in the process of publishing the prologue of my own story, but talking about the logistics is like difficult to come across. The team, the disposition, the time. It gets tough. So I was thinking, why
yeah,
as writers we have a very difficult position because well, at least me, I cannot draw anything at all. Like
right.
it's funny, but a lot of professional comic book people cannot draw anything, in spite of what normies think about us, that we are all excellent cartoonists. But
Mm.
I'm actually working with Crumple Point in writing some ideas down in the form of a novel prose, and just see where it takes you. Because I mean,
What is a novel
there's
pro?
no a no, novel prose, the prose of you using novels, like a pulp.
Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. I
Yeah,
got you.
making like pulps and stuff. Because I mean, we if we have a lot of ideas, but well, I cannot draw it. Crumpleboy can actually draw things, but it takes time too. And he says that making his Peptis challenge was very time consuming, and you know,
Yeah.
and I told him, well, we should write at least some prose about this, and who knows, maybe go all George R. Martin, and then making comics and video games out of our ideas is not as difficult in the future. Maybe that's something that has
Yeah.
to be explored more.
Yeah. Start with something that's more simple. Maybe not a comic book, maybe some, like you said, like a pulp story or something where you would still have art and whatnot. You'd still have like some sorts of illustrations and whatnot, but it would be less time consuming.
Well, I think modern pulps are in the form of creepy pastas most of the
Mm,
time, like blog form or
yeah.
whatever. But you can
Right.
write them. I mean, we have computers. You can write them any way you want. And if all you need is the text, I mean, I don't know if you know this guy, Sticks and Hammer 666. He does politics in his channel
Yeah.
and
I
like
know
old
his
shit.
channel.
But he also writes books. I've never read his book because I'm an atheist. I don't really care a lot about occultism, but it's as easy as that. If you have ideas, just make a fucking book and put them on Amazon. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah. Crumple,
And
the Scottish bell and low key got nothing but respect for him.
yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, that's what we
I,
were thinking about, having a lot of these complicated ideas that you mentioned, like going into video game form or comic
mm,
book form can take a toll. Like I've been trying to make indie comics even before I was blacklisted at Marvel, and
hmm
it's always been hard to pull a team together. Like I recently could with a
yeah,
lot of effort, but I've been struggling with artists for at least a decade now, or maybe
right.
more, maybe 12 years now.
It's kind of why I've chosen to do the drawing myself. Because, well, for one, I can't afford to pay for anybody else to do it, so I literally have no other option but to do it myself.
Hey,
yeah,
hey, there's nothing wrong with DIY. Like we've mentioned Crumple Point a lot, and I like the kid because he has a lot of passion for what he does. I mean, he
yeah,
he made the comic however he understood comics were made, and I think that's pretty cool. He did like what independent artists were doing in the 60s with comics, but with an X instead of the CS at the end. Comics like Robert Crumb, they just made comics however the fuck they felt like. They didn't need Marvel
yeah.
to put them out.
Yeah. And I think that's actually kind of the benefit of being an independent nowadays. There's so many alternatives and options to, to get your book out there. You could do it for free. You could, just find a way to publish it on an indie comic book webpage, like probably, oh, where it is. I mean, you could probably eventually put it on Comixology. I don't know uh what their requirements are.
Comicsology's requirements are not that hard, but you have to have like a professional quality in regards of your product, in the
Yeah.
sense that you need these certain specifications of your PDF because
Right.
its interface has this thing that zooms in into the panels, so they
Hmm.
need a high
Yeah.
quality version of it. A long time ago, before Comicsgate was Comicsgate, I became acquainted with Rags because he wanted to help. He wanted me to help him out with his Rags comic book,
hmm
and he couldn't because of the way that he had the files that his penciler sent him. He couldn't put it in Comixology because they weren't
Right.
big enough,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's the reason Rags didn't make it to Comixology.
Is it on there now?
I don't think so, because I don't think
Well,
Antarctic
considering,
Press has a Comixology presence.
oh, that's odd. I thought they might have.
I
Hmm.
actually thought so too, and I was looking for some of those comics, like the Thump book and stuff, and they weren't on Comixology.
Hmm. Maybe they might just be on their website in digital form too.
Yeah, but
Possibly.
most companies do both. Like you can go to
Yeah.
DC, and in fact, DC and Marvel are powered by Comixology, even though you can go to their individual websites to buy stuff.
uh, Edufer, avoid using Amazon. What's his name is too big, and there needs to be another competitor.
Uh,
Or he avoids using Amazon.
yeah.
Hmm. That's an
Uh,
option. There's plenty. You could just put it on your own personal page.
there's
Can write
Tapas
what?
and there's Tapas. What other Comic Central?
Yeah.
But I don't think none
There's
of
an.
them
I think there's
has
an. I think column is on. Oh, what is it called? Comic Central
Comic
or
Central.
something like. Or so, I can't remember because I remember I downloaded. They were giving column away for free, and I downloaded it, and I'm hoping I can find it on the tablet at some point. But um, they're on some sort of site that specializes in independence.
Yeah, the thing
From
with
what it seems
Comixology
very
is the payment. My problem with the first time I bought the Rags book digitally was that I couldn't. My credit card was not taken by Tapas or Comic Central because I'm not American, and
right.
Amazon and Comixology by default, I can buy stuff there. That's one of the things that
Oh,
has it's the appeal of the site. Also, their interface is arguably the best right now.
hmm.
But I do understand the point that they are becoming a monopoly, though I think digital sales are too low to consider them a monopoly by itself. Though I
Hmm.
understand Amazon is the largest company in the whole fucking world.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm sorry though. I like using Amazon. I do order stuff from there, stuff that I can't get anywhere else, or at least stuff that I can find for reasonable pricing. Knight's playing Monster Hunter World and triple screen is OP. I wish I could. That would be freaking awesome. Sorry, Jay. I don't have triple screen. I don't even have double screen. I wish I did. So that would be awesome. But I don't. I should. I will hopefully get back to Monster Hunter at some point. Plan right now, though, tomorrow, for those of you guys who are here and maybe you're interested, I will be live streaming Spider Man with my buddy Rabbit. Probably about the same time we started this stream. We'll be doing that tomorrow, though. But this is about what's going on right now.
Yeah,
Shameless plug early on.
with comics, but that's fine. I had the chance to test the Spider-Man game. I think it was okay.
I think, yeah, I haven't had. I spent like probably the first like 10 minutes. I didn't want to play any more of it because I was like, I want to live stream this. I want to just have fun. I want everybody else to have fun. And then, you know, you know, uh, basically have a good time. And the reason why I invited Rabbit to join me for that stream is because he's the one who bought it for me. So yes, indeed, hail Rabbit because he bought me the game, which
Oh,
was
it's
very
pretty
nice of him.
cool.
I didn't ask him to do anything. I swear. I didn't coerce him.
No, but a gift is a gift, my dude. Happy
Oh
early
yeah.
Halloween, I guess.
He did that to me when the game was, I think, about a couple days after the game officially released. So that was in November or
Mm,
September.
yeah, yeah.
September.
We're
I'm
not
like,
even
it's
in
not November
November.
yet. We're getting
Yeah.
towards November. It was in September before October. So, yeah, that was cool though of him to do though. It hit me in the feels. I'm like, I didn't ask for a new game, but I'll take it anyway. Okay, so back on topic.
Yeah. So what's the plan? How are you thinking about going about your story? Like, how are you
Um,
gonna put it out now that we're on that topic?
that's the part I don't. That's the part I know the least about. Like where am I going to distribute it? How am I going to distribute it? Things of that nature. Considering that I don't like the idea of doing an Indiegogo for the project unless I had enough interest in it. I mean, if there were so many people who were demanding it and saying, "Hey, put it on Indiegogo. I want a physical copy," I would jump on that bandwagon. But I would prefer, at least for starters. I think you mentioned this in the last time we did a live stream when we were talking about the Venom movie, but it went all over the place. But you mentioned like maybe moving most of the platforms to digital
Yeah,
instead of
I have a
relying too
logistics
heavily.
planned
Yeah,
out with mine
yeah,
regarding that because yeah, it's expensive to send books around the fucking globe, and it's not
Agreed.
sustainable. How many $50 books are you gonna buy a year without even knowing the quality of the books? And I'm not saying about these comics gate supporter comic books, if they're good or bad. The couple I've read I liked, which are well, I reviewed some, and I liked, for example, the one by Joshua Howard, that it's called Tiber and Throttle. It's really good. That book is really good, and I proofread Iron Sights, and
Hmm.
I genuinely enjoyed Iron Sights, even though it wasn't my type of comic. I'm not big with combat comics. I really enjoyed reading that one.
Hmm.
So I mean, there's quality in the you know in the product, but it's unreasonable to expect you know
Yeah.
to ask for $50 a pop, and
Mm.
it,
Yeah.
it- either you like it or not. There are things
Yeah.
about digital, and the first thing it solves, it's our biggest problem, which is distribution. So that
Yeah.
has to be uh, looked into, even if it's a placeholder, even if it's in the meantime. But I notice also most of these projects do not have a digital option in their Indiegogo. So for
Yeah.
example, for people that don't want to spend $50 on something they haven't never read, uh, I think that's a missed opportunity, and that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm working right now with my own studio. If you let me screen share, I can show you what we
Y-
have.
yeah. You're free to do that. Go for it, man. So long as you don't reveal any of your personal information, it's fine with me.
No, I'm just gonna hop into the what
Okay.
the
I'll
my
I'll read I'll read comments while you do that. Rabbit is the man. I love the guy to bits. He always gifts me random games on Steam. Bless him. Yeah, he does that to me too. He's done that several times. The Spider-Man one is just the most recent one he's ever done. Does Rabbit have a donation link? Yes, he does. He doesn't have Patreon. He uses the Ko-fi donation link or donation site where you can tip him like for the price of a coffee. You can tip him. One-time donations or whatever. Can give him $3. I'm now shamelessly looking for Rabbit. Go ahead. Go donate to Rabbit. Give the guy a couple bucks. Be generous. I also have a link for that as well if people want to. Aw,
that
that's
coffee
great,
thing
Jay.
is pretty good.
I think it's a good. I mean, the bear. I would like it if it was the minimum. There was a better minimum option because the minimum is $3, the price of a cup of coffee, and
Yeah.
some people don't like giving out more than maybe $1. But of course, I think that both me and him should probably just like open individual PayPal accounts, and then you could just donate $1 if you don't like Kofi for some reason, and you can't give $3. You know, throw $1. But I'll do that eventually at some point. Probably not right now. No one, very few people have ever even visited the site or given me money, so I don't expect donations. But if people are welcome to do so if they want. It does help me buy equipment, or at least save up for some. Did you find the stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's all on my. I went to the the basic, the Twitter. The we
Okay.
we have this studio we're starting. It's called Panels and Gutters. I don't know if you're watching the thing, but
Oh, I
we,
can I can see it now. Yeah.
we want to make comics like in the 90s, like the comics we liked. So I teamed up with this newcomer penciler, Rocco, friend of mine, who is a
Hmm.
publicity guy, but he's really talented. And I teamed up also with Lobo Cuevas, who was Humberto Ramos's inker, and he has worked in books like Wolverine Civil War and Uncanny X-Men and stuff like that.
Mm.
And I think it's first and foremost, and I'm talking about the inker Lobo, because not he is good, he's extremely good, but I also think that inkers right now are being phased out, and people don't understand what an inker does, and I think it's really important, and that's why there was such quality back then, because inkers are like illustration editors. This
Right.
is Rocco's. I don't know if you can dock the image a little bit.
Can I what?
Click on my
Okay,
thing.
hold on. There we go. Now it'll be consistent and everyone will see it.
Yeah, Rocco made these pencils, and then they go to Lobo Cuevas, and he enhances it, and it gives it that depth and proportion and stuff like that. Corrects it a little bit if
Hmm.
there are mistakes and stuff, and you get this. And we have this project we're trying to do. It's called Alienation. It's a 90s type of comic book in all sense of the imagination, because it takes place in 1995, and it's about a group of teenage superheroes inspired, by the likes of Gen 13 and Generation X or Clerks or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, all those tropes, all that stuff we liked back then.
Yeah.
So we're putting together this comic book, and we start to talk about, well, how do you distribute it? And what makes most sense, at least at the beginning, would be we are making for free a 10-page prologue, and we're going to put it on the internet, and everybody can read it. And after that, we want to continue into making with my calculations, a 60-page story, a 60-page story which will be funded by Indiegogo, of course. There's a problem with Kickstarter. First and foremost, it's being curated by Heather Antos. I don't know if you know that, but that's a huge issue
Hmm.
if you are a comic skate guy.
Okay.
And the
Was not
the thing,
aware.
I'm sorry, what?
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh yeah, most people don't know that, but yeah, she's working right now with Kickstarter.
Okay.
And yeah, so my logistics tell me we're gonna make this 60-page book in digital form for 2.99. That's the price of a 20 of a cheap 20-page DC comic book, but
Yeah.
we're giving you 60 pages. And I think even there's no reason why big companies are not putting out their comic books at a much more reasonable price on digital, because
Yeah, there's no excuse for it. That's one of my biggest problems with digital platforms in general. They say everything is supposed to make things cheaper and more accessible, but unless it's something like Steam, it normally never is.
well, Comixology does have great sales sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's usually older stuff and not so
Yeah.
good stuff.
Sometimes, yeah. Bye,
And
Virgil. Brother's going to work.
yeah, no, and that's the thing. That's what we are striving for. We want to make digital relevant, and there's also a couple of things about digital, like you get the best color in digital. That's no questions asked. It doesn't matter what kind of book you buy. The best coloring
Mhm.
you'll ever get is digital. And you can also
Right.
play with how you work the panels a little bit, especially because of mentioning Comixology, that Comixology interface. It makes you be it lets you be able to make better surprises in comics, because in physical comics there's a thing: when you're writing a story, you can only surprise the reader every third page, because you open the book and you see the two pages, and you only get a surprise when you turn the page.
Yeah.
That you can mitigate in digital.
Hmm.
That's something to
Interesting.
consider if you are making comics, how comics work. So yeah, we have these panels and gutters studio, and we are trying to put out this comic book. We're working on it right now, and yeah, we're gonna make this free digital prologue, and after that, if people like it, we'll go to Indiegogo and see what happens. Because I mean, we can only produce 10 pages for free, because we have the cost. If we want to do it properly, we have the cost of the inker. Global is a good inker. We're gonna have to hire a colorist. We don't have one right now. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
hire a letterist. We don't have one right now. And taking into consideration how much how much money we're talking about, it's not that much we're asking for. We're asking basically for the actual price to make the thing. We're asking for like $8,000.
Yeah.
$8,000, and that gets the whole thing made for everyone in the world. And I think that's the most important thing, that everyone has access to 60 pages for the price of 20 cheap pages.
Yeah. That's good. I
That's the logistics I came up with Rocco when we were coming out with a way to make this happen. Sorry, I'm a little bit cold. I don't know if you noticed.
yeah. I kind of noticed you did sound a little bit kind of
Off,
like you were
yeah.
having some problems.
But yeah, that's my pitch.
Hmm. It sounds good. It sounds like you've thought of things that even I don't currently know. Of course, considering how infantile my project currently is, I really don't have a lot to go with. I'm just trying to hash out things like story and um, character designs currently. It's about all I'm trying to do currently.
No, no,
And then
I
probably,
get it. That's something we are. That's why we're taking so long. I even made a post
yeah.
about it. The the concept process, the pre-production process, has to be made perfectly, because
Hmm.
it's gonna make your story have momentum.
Yeah.
In what I'm trying to say is, if you don't spend time on pre-production and conceptualizing and polishing every single detail so you intimately know your story, you're gonna find yourself every single time just you know phoning shit in because you don't know your own story.
Yeah. Yeah. You got a good point. You got a good point. But yeah, once the project, I think I might take a similar method that you did, where I'll probably put a prologue up, or maybe or a preview up for free so people can check it out once a lot of it is hashed out and whatnot. The original plan that I have is that it's going to at least be roughly 20 chapters. I don't know if I'm going to be releasing it monthly or not. I think my initial plan was to release it kind of like a manga volume where it has 5 chapters each, but I'm not entirely sure what I'll be doing exactly because there could be the possibility I might change my mind and I might decide to do it a chapter at a time or something.
Well,
Take more of my time.
that's the approach we're having. We are
Yeah.
putting out a complete story.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry about that. We're
Excuse you.
putting out, the. Damn it! It's getting cold here.
Put on a sweater, man.
Yeah, I really should. Can you?
Yeah.
Can you hold the
No,
fort?
I can hold the fort. I'll be just fine. We'll hold the line. Bless you and bless you again. Yep. It's got quite the sneezing going on. I understand that feeling quite well. I sneeze very a lot when I get sick. So how's everybody in chat doing? Everything going okay? Anybody have any questions for Spike once he comes back or have any thoughts so far? Please feel free to drop them in chat and I will address them as we wait for Spike to come back. And while my cat sits on my lap. Good kitty. I had a vile cold 3 weeks ago when I was in bed for 3 days. Holy buckets. Yeah, that sucks. I hate when I have a cold that's so bad that I don't want to get up. That just sucks in general. It's I can relate to you, Jay, on that one. I don't like it. I hate it. That's normally like if you live in a house with other people, it's probably a good idea if one of them catches a cold to probably, start, drinking or taking things that can resist a cold. It's probably your best option, That's normally what I do. If my brother comes home with a cold, I'm normally like, I'm buying orange juice, I'm drinking orange juice, I'm, tea or something to that nature. I'm taking something to, resist it when it does come so it doesn't lay me flat when it happens. Yeah, you're right, Dalton. It's the cold gets around. There's no avoiding it. It's gonna happen. Just do your best to drink all your fluids, and drink and eat things that help resist that type of stuff. You know, lots of garlic is normally recommended. Honey in your tea, or honey on anything in general, and orange juice. Yeah, it's just that time of the year. Everybody's gonna be sick, so it's really not much you can do about it. My best friend when I was sick was chicken noodle soup and ramen. That's normally my best friend too. If I'm being honest, that's normally my go-tos. Chicken noodle soup and ramen.
I'm fine, and it should all be better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
I
get
was missing my jacket.
Yeah. Well, when you're complaining about being cold and you're sneezing a lot, it might be a good idea to go out and grab that.
The thing about Mexico City, for those who don't know and didn't notice my accent, I don't know why. I am from Mexico City, and it
Mhm.
changes. The weather changes very quickly. So in the afternoon, it usually is sunny and hot, and it drops
Right.
like 10 degrees, like from the afternoon to the evening, and it just gets
Yeah.
colder and colder, and it fucks you up. It really fucks you up.
Yeah. Our weather patterns can be a bit my weather patterns out here in Oregon can be kind of erratic too. You never know what we're going to get. Sometimes we get cold and sometimes rain. Most of the time we don't get snow, but then sometimes you do get snow, just depending on how cold it is. Relatively consistent, but I don't think the temperatures drop nearly as badly as they do in other places. I remember when I talked to just some guy, it was quite a long time ago, but we talked and he lives out in Chicago and he's like it like hits below freezing very quickly.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like,
like
holy schmuck,
I
man.
think it was in 2013 or 2014. They were colder than Mars.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I think I remember he was mentioning like it hit like it was like well above below freezing, and like it was a nightmare. Yes, Jay. Ireland is always cold. Ireland and London are always cold, I think. I don't think you guys have very many days where you get into triple digit weather. If you do, please let me know because I would be very curious. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody in that particular region of the world talk about, you know, having, 3-digit weather. At least I've never heard of it. You had a good summer? Well, that's good. I mean, we out here, we barely get into triple digits. It's only like a couple of times a year, but still happens. Anyway, enough about the weather and colds. What else should we talk about?
Oh no, yeah, we're talking about indie comics, and
Well, I know what we're talking about.
no,
I'm
no, no.
just
I know, but I wanted to go into detail about our story, especially your story, because
yeah,
you have the setup.
right.
Now, the way I work is usually I have like a theme or a message or something, and I work around it and try to make it,
Mhm.
a complete thing. You know, so you can read it at many levels.
Right.
And I wanted to know what you're trying to convey with your story. That's my question right now.
Convey with the story. I don't
What
know if
makes your story tick?
Might be a more deeper question than I had originally planned for. um, well, mainly I kept it fairly simple. Mainly, it's just light versus dark for the most part. Um, it's kind of just the over thematic plan. I know when I talked to Professor Geek, he was talking about it being very similar to like maybe angels and demons or something. I think that was something we discussed, or well, maybe not. That might just be me interpreting something else entirely. But the main theme was to um, since was focusing so much on a character trying to do good in the world and fighting the darkness was, I think, the main point I was planning. I don't know if I have anything more deeper than that currently.
No, but for example, your character. I don't know if you have a name for him, but why is he
I do.
fighting?
Um, well,
What's
I think
what's
we did.
his motivation?
Uh, yeah, right. I remember. Well, the main intention was because I already discussed it with Professor Geek, but for a reminder for people, um, the main plan was he's an orphan. Basically, he doesn't have a mom and dad anymore because his mom and dad spent all their time in the world. Well, they traveled a lot because they were part of like relief groups and volunteer work, you know, and they traveled all over the world. And on one of their days when they went out, they an accident happened or something. I haven't ironed out any of those details yet, but they passed away. But considering that he always admired his parents, he wanted to do the same good that they did in the world. But since he's still relatively young, he can't, go traveling just yet. So he helps his local town. He helps people with whatever problems they're having, and then, he's. And now I've kind of lost my train of thought there for a second. Crap.
It happens. It
But
happens.
yeah, but basically his motivation at first, when because I have some of the stuff, the first couple chapters mildly plotted out. When he first is given the powers, he's not entirely sure if he wants them or if um, he's hesitant. He's not sure if he's up for the job of fighting monsters and whatnot because he doesn't have any training or anything. So, but the fact that he can do a lot more good with the powers than even what his parents used to do, he decides to help to save the world from these dark creatures that are invading from another dimension. Is that a good enough explanation, or do I need to work on it? Because if I can try and work on it more, which I probably will.
No, I mean
So,
it's it's your story.
right. I was just hoping that at least clarified whatever the question was.
No, what was the motivation of the guy? Like,
Yeah.
what was his calling? Which a lot of people think you need stories to have these arcs of characters with a calling or whatever. It's not really necessary. I mean, if you watch, for
No.
example, stuff like Indiana Jones, the guy doesn't really have a great purpose in life or
No, he's
a
just.
story arc, or he doesn't learn any lesson at all in the whole three movies. I didn't watch the fourth one, thank
Mm-hmm.
God. But yeah, it's good to ask yourself these things and to know if you need them or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think he has. I think that the motivation of just trying to help people is decent enough, but I don't know if it goes any deeper than that. Just him just being a very genuine and caring individual and wanting to help people. He's well, I mean, when I was talking to Professor Geek, he basically said that I was trying to build an aspirational hero, be closer to things like Superman and whatnot. Just somebody who's not really morally gray in any sense, and he's just trying to do the right thing.
No, that's fine, and you can always explain that away. Like, yeah, his parents were like good parents, and they taught him right from wrong
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Right.
You
That's
didn't have to go like the with great power comes great responsibility road if you don't think it's necessary for your story.
right.
And I don't think it applies because like I am more versed in Western types of narrative, but I'm not that
Hmm.
big. Like you have this obviously a very Japanese type of story, well, or at least the
Mm,
archetypes, and I don't really know the
right.
the conventions of those archetypes. They are not
Right.
like superheroes. They are their own thing.
Yeah. Although to me, I think that with tokusatsu and stuff, it has a lot of reminiscent similarities to superheroes. It's not the same as a conventional Western comic or a Western style superhero, but they do have similarities in some regards. You
Yeah.
getting a phone call?
No, no, never mind. You can ignore it. It usually is like people trying to sell you credit cards and shit.
Ah, yes, them. Me into a hangout. Time to spice this live stream up. No, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. That's up to Spike.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. I mean, why not? If maybe, I mean, another perspective in both our stories wouldn't be bad. It's what we do in the
hmm,
Writers Guild. Just you put out
hmm,
your story, and then people just dissect it, and that's how great ideas are forged. I think.
hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
it's your call, man. If you want to have him, have him.
I haven't had him on for a while. Hang on, Jay. Give me a sec. Uh, this might take a couple minutes, so entertain them while I'm figuring this out. Gotta find him though. Do, 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 do. Where the heck? Where is he? Where is Jay? He's in here somewhere. I know he is.
And it's funny because we were talking about how Crumple Point couldn't come because he's in Europe. He just DM'd me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is he available?
Let me ask him. I didn't ask him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. No, that's fine. That's fine. You're you're free to do that. Da, 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 da. And it's sent. Or yeah, there it goes. I could just close this. This doesn't even need to be here right now. Dinosaurs? I shall keep you entertained.
No, but
Okay.
yeah, it's an interesting idea. I don't think your idea has been done the way you are telling me about it, or in the West.
Yeah, it's not something that's very common in the West. And great, now I'm getting phone calls.
Yeah, I heard.
I ignore the home phone anyway. Unless it's coming from my cell phone, I'm gonna ignore you.
No,
Because it's
but it's
mainly
interesting
telemarketers.
because I mean, what's the closest thing? I think it's like Pacific Rim, and it wasn't precisely what you were talking about. It's more of a straight up kaiju versus mecha type of story
Yeah,
with a big budget.
yeah, that's true.
It's
Hello.
Hello,
hey,
Jay.
how goes it, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Little sick, but just fighting the good fight.
Brother, I hope you get well. I know the struggle. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is.
Make
It is. It
make
is.
make friends with ramen if you got it. Trust me.
No,
Spicy stuff.
I got chicken. I got chicken, but I didn't have the broth.
I mean, instant's good. The broth is good as long as it's chicken, spicy. You're all good, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
can
had
definitely help clear your sinuses.
Mm, it does wonders. What
Mm.
has total time posted? What's been rejected? Has it been naughty?
What?
oh well, I cooked myself some chicken and I made myself some spinach croquettes, but I burned them. I was telling
Mm.
that before we started the live. I was watching Chris Ray Gun and I forgot and I fucking burned them. I had to eat the thing with the black crust.
I'll tell you what's nice. A nice spinach omelette.
Hmm.
Really nice.
I have eggs in the morning and I'm on a diet, so I cannot have eggs like at all times.
Dude, I train all the time, so I've got to have like, how can I put it? It's a very strict diet what I'm on, but put it this way: when I'm training, I'm like a moody woman. I need junk food.
I think I can understand that.
Obviously,
Sense.
tomorrow's a cheat day, so I'm allowed to take away.
Mm. I mean, you do all that training for mixed martial
Boxing,
arts? Yeah, or
boxing,
boxing.
MMA, all that good stuff.
Yeah, because I remember you
Mhm.
mentioned that to me once, which is really cool.
Yeah, let's just say if you're an adrenaline junkie like me, it's great. If you're afraid to get punched in the face, it's not really good.
Yeah, that it wouldn't work for me. I don't like to get into physical altercations to begin with. Don't think I would be very good in a boxing
Dude,
ring.
dude, it's good money, but I'd rather chill at home in a Star Wars t-shirt jogger playing video games.
Well, that's
what kind
great.
what kind of action do you enjoy in like video games and comics and stuff? You know
Um,
your martial arts, so I guess you have like certain tastes, and not everything appeals to
I'm a
you.
really big fan of fantasy open worlds. Kind of a fan of FPS games, but I love Neverwinter Nights, Baldur's Gate, Dungeons and Dragons, all that good shit.
So you
Mhm.
like swordplay and stuff like that?
Yeah, role playing. I love any game what gives you a choice of different aspects of the story.
Hmm.
Like The Witcher 3, great game. Don't know if you two have played it. Absolutely brilliant game.
It's funny because I own the three of them, but I haven't played any of them. I've only
Oh,
played the adventure one.
dude.
The thing is, I have
Which,
like 250 games on my Steam account, and I've played like 30.
right, let me match you with that, sir. I have over 270 something.
Yeah, it happens with
Yeah.
Steam. That's the fucking problem with Steam. I'm playing Hollow Knight right now.
I've heard that's brilliant.
Yes.
I've heard that is absolutely brilliant.
It
Yep.
it has a great lore and a great ambience.
Mm.
Lot of games, not enough time to play them all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Dark Souls. Oh my god, took me Dark Souls 3. When you go into the chapel to fight that worm boss with the bow when she shoots arrows down to the ground, took me 20 hours to chin the bitch.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
because I
can
kept
believe
getting
it.
invaded and I kept getting one shot because idiots didn't know how to co-op.
Yeah.
So
And
you go into co-op a lot?
yeah, with friends. Like I say, any game like that, it brings friends together and you just enjoy the rage together because you got one friend what laughs at you, and you got the other person what see you laughing at them when they rage.
Hmm.
It's a beautiful thing to witness. I'm sure Spike understands this.
Well, sort of, kind of, because I'm the worst co-op guy. Like, I was used to playing games alone, my
Mm,
Yeah.
house, and this MMORPG, whatever. I did play Diablo 2 when it came out, but I never played with
great game, absolutely
like
great game.
anyone. So
Mm.
I've always became used to playing alone, and I cannot understand the group dynamics right now on games. So I usually play one player or fighting games. Fighting games I like a lot as well.
Tekken, Street Fighter, Dragon Ball.
Actually, more like Guilty Gear, and I do Street Fighter, but I don't like Street Fighter 5. I like
Yeah.
King of Fighters,
Great
stuff like
choice,
that.
great choice.
Street Fighter 5 is not too great.
No, it is.
I'm just saying great choices because Street Fighter, cult classic.
Yeah, the
Oh,
original.
the collections. The collection is really good. It has like fucking Street Fighter Alpha 2. Like, if I listen to the theme song from that thing, I get pumped and I want to punch things.
Like,
Yep.
who remembers Evo when the guy first countered in Street Fighter? That tournament.
The third strike. It was Daigo versus Justin Wong with Ken versus Chun Li. That's the. Yeah, it's
that is epic. He invented the hype. When the footage on YouTube, fuck, you know.
I don't know. I don't know how old you are, Jay. I think Nightwolves is a little younger than me, but I was playing Street Fighter 2 in the arcades when I was a kid.
Dude, I'm 29.
I
grew up in the 90s, so I was around.
I'm 36.
You're 2 years older than I am, Spike.
Yeah, you're just a little bit younger.
Hey, you know what it is? I'm not judging. You're only as young as you feel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. I got you.
Yep. Sometimes I feel like an old man.
Oh, dude, when I had that cold, I felt like an old man. I was walking like an old man. It were horrible.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The thing I was getting to is that the hype around fighting games. It was like when fighting games became good, because the first Street Fighter really sucked. But when the second Street Fighter came out, it was the only thing I talked about from morning to night. Every single day at fucking school, it was Street Fighter, Street Fighter, Street Fighter.
Learning them combos, left, right, and center, putting in the hours, all that good shit.
Just deciphering how to make a Hadouken was like you were a fucking genius to make, because there were no manuals for the arcade. So if you could pull away like 2 Hadoukens in a row, it was like to make a Hadouken on command back then. It was like, oh my god, these guys.
It wasn't like when you got into the mid when the PlayStation 1 came out, when they started getting them like magazines, with the combos and cheats and stuff from the PlayStation 1. It wasn't like that back in the day when you had fucking Sega Mega Drive, all that shit.
There were magazines and stuff, but for example, the Nintendo magazine sucked, and usually it had wrong information. Like you could actually get more lost following the fucking magazine than doing it on your own.
It's like, dude, I'm still a big fan of Nintendo 64 GoldenEye. I am still a big fan of that.
Yeah. Who is
all me and my brothers used to do would play on that, bash it off. I'm like, we went to war with each other on that game.
I remember playing quite a few matches with my brother and friends on GoldenEye. Playing
sibling rivalry, that's what it is.
A bit of sibling rivalry and a bit of, oh wait, this guy's 5 times better than me, and I now hate him because he has the golden gun.
Well, we were among the lines war. How did he get a black eye? How did he get a bus slip? Why has he got a broken nose?
I don't think it ever got to that level.
Well, me and my brothers are competitive. It's weird. Yeah. Me being the youngest out of 5, we've always been of like competitive nature. We always want to outdo each other.
Right. Makes sense.
So in gaming, it brings our competitive spirit out. Like, we want to take it to that next level. Like, when we're playing Tekken and shit, we're like, yo, let's do this. Let's bet money.
Oh, those are the best, man. Fucking fighting matches for money. I have a cousin who actually could make a living fighting that way. He was champion here, and last time he played, he won. He was drunk. And it's the only thing in his life that he's ever been good at. Like, his life is a fucking mess, but when he plays fighting games, it's like fucking Beautiful Mind, and he starts, I don't know, looking at these shiny numbers.
He's just in his happy place, isn't he?
Yeah. Fucking artist.
It's like, I tried playing Bloodborne one time drunk, and I was sliding all over him, and it's like, Jay's drunk in here. I'm like, yeah, I've had a couple of vodka and cokes, sliding all over. He's like, you're dead, bro. I'm like, no, I'm not.
0 deaths.
I'm still winning. I hope I one shot the boss is like, bro, you got one shot. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Hello, tell him, how are you?
Hello.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
You know, it's like I'm being tame because it's your podcast. Obviously, I don't want to get kicked off, and I don't know what I can get away with, so I'm being a bit tame tonight.
Well, I appreciate it.
It's not like me and Angleton going out on that last podcast. How fucking funny.
Well,
Spike, if you've never heard me and Angleton go out, trust me, it's funniest shit ever.
Oh yeah, I've been over there. You know, the old man is funny.
I coined it when I called him the old man fat fingers. He's my boy, man. I've got nothing but love for him. Like Nightwolf, great YouTuber. He's a humble person. He's a good lad. I've had nothing but respect for him, and I've always had good things to say about him. Apart from that one time, though, when I first met you.
I cannot. What was that? Because I mispronounced your name?
No, when I said, "As your balls dropped."
Oh, right. That.
It's a little bit of a Howard Stern or something.
Dude, I didn't know. I'm like, yo,
he didn't. Well, most of the time you are drunk, so
only
I
on the
let it
weekends.
slide. Only on the weekend. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Because I would hope that you would be sober most of the time, because I get concerned.
No, when you tweet me when I'm engaging in conversation with half of the people, I'm sober. It's like I'm too sober for this shit. But yeah, the one main game what I am looking forward to actually getting my hands hold of is Cyberpunk, the new one. Same the developers what made The Witcher 3, so high expectations.
Yeah. CD Projekt Red, yeah.
Dude, they rule. They are the developers.
For the size of the development team that they have, that is very impressive.
Dude, round of applause to them, because what they did with The Witcher 3 was a masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece.
Yeah.
The DLCs, oh my god, Blood and Wine, fuck me.
By the way, I'm breaking the fucking flow, but
go for it.
Yeah, no, I mean Castlevania Season 2 is coming out.
Oh, dude, what day is it? It's hold on, please. Oh my god, it's on Netflix. Did it say it's coming out on the 26th and now it's the 27th?
Oh, but I think it's planned to come out at the LA time. It's basically Nightwolf's time.
My time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, I live in Ireland, so technically it's like 11 minutes past 1 in the morning over here.
Yeah.
So it should be out. Oh my god, the first season. Oh my god. It was that short, and I wanted more.
I know that this one's going to be.
I fucking loved it. I think they should have stick to the movie format and make it like I think they planned it to be a movie instead of chopped it in 4 parts.
I heard about that. I heard they were pushing to make a movie, and then I heard the Monster World films getting made, and it's got the person what made the lead cast for Hellboy, the original one, and the one what played in Resident Evil.
Who from Resident Evil?
And you know the one what plays the main chick at the first one, or gets infected with that shit.
Oh, the voice actress who plays Jill?
No, the film.
Mila Jovovich.
Oh. Yes.
So I'm a bit skeptical if they go through what I've got in my head is if they go the route with the Pacific Rim, the first one. I love that film. Second one was shit. If they go down that route, I think it's got a chance. But if they try overdoing the CGI, I don't think it's got a cat and hell chance.
I don't think I think that the whole thing was made to be OVAs, like anime OVAs.
Yeah.
I think that's how
Sure.
Warren Ellis wrote them. So I think it's pretty much it's gonna be like the same thing, but the same story expanded.
Hmm.
I hope so because they have a good thing going on. Why fucking mess it up?
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Because I'm loving the Monster Hunter World game. It's grindy, but I'm loving it.
Hmm.
It's like I've raged at it. I've nearly smashed my keyboard at it. Because I
Well,
still
there
can't beat
are
that
some
damn pink ruffian.
There are some fights in that game that are incredibly hard if you're not
Pink
fully
ruffian.
prepared or if
Tell
you
me
don't
how
have a
to kill
team.
that damn thing. Knights, tell me how to kill it.
I wish I knew because I'm still relatively a new, but I'm not even to the last.
Mate, stop
thing
mocking
I
me.
thought
Just tell
was-
me how to kill the damn thing.
Kill it the same way you do a normal Rathian?
No.
Aim for the tail?
Fuck off. Stop trolling me. How do you kill the damn thing?
Ask Rabbit. He probably knows. He's already
I've
beat
asked
the
him.
game. What did he tell you?
I can't remember.
Well, you're going to have to ask him again, and he'll remind you because I haven't finished the game or I'm not even that far in still.
Knights, stop fucking with me, please. Just tell me how to kill the
I'm
damn
not.
thing.
I'm being honest.
Spike, he's fucking with me. Tell him off. He's bullying me.
He
I
just
think
can't
that would
handle
be
the
a
truth.
first one for Nightwolves. I don't picture him bullying anyone. He's such a good guy.
Nope.
No, he's upsetting me. I'm gonna go sit in my corner and cry and drink my beers. Like,
Okay. Yep,
Don't
and then
bully
once I
me.
actually do fight that Pete Krathian, I won't tell you.
I will fuck you up.
Well, you're gonna have to get in a plane and get over here. Then.
Yeah, Knights. I forgot to mention I do have my private jet. So
Oh, cool
yeah,
for you.
You kind of shot yourself in the foot then.
Well,
He's
hey,
gonna-
no, you could come by and visit. I don't.
He's
mind.
gonna go 9/11 on your ass.
No, you know what it is.
Let's
Knights. The thing about Knights, he can have banter with me. He can tell me to go fuck myself. It's all in good fun, if you get what I mean. I would never wish harm on him.
No,
He's
I
too
know,
much of a nice guy.
just drafting around.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could like train a pigeon to shit in his windshield or his window. I don't know.
Well, if you're gonna do it on a windshield, I'd say go for it.
I think
Go
I'd
for
rather I'd rather get beat up than have people shitting on my car, man.
No, a pigeon.
he was
A pigeon will do it.
Oh, a pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Good luck finding the vehicle.
It's not hard.
No, the reason why I say that is because I don't own a car.
I'll just chat to Rabbit.
Yeah. It's like
Where is Rabbit, the lovable rascal? I know he were streaming non-stop my time.
is he streaming right now?
No, he were
Or-
streaming my morning. He were on and off playing Castlevania, and you know what it is? I'm
Oh.
loving his
Yeah, he was
streams.
doing that like he was doing that like really he was doing that relatively early. I think for me
Yeah,
it was
and-
like 2:00 a.m. and I was like, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, he was streaming like 1 o'clock afternoon my time. I'm like, bruh, does this guy
Yeah.
ever sleep?
Well, since I know Rabbit very well, I've known him
He's a
for
good
several
lad.
years. Yeah. He does sometimes suffer from insomnia on
Mhm.
occasion, so he has trouble sleeping. So sometimes he will be up for sometimes days at a time with no sleep.
Yeah, he
So-
mentioned to me in the past. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my god.
Yeah, he sometimes struggles with his sleep schedule. So if he's
Yeah.
streaming real like super early morning, especially if it's
Mhm.
early for me.
And
him.
it takes a toll on
It
your
means
body and
he's-
mind as well.
Oh yeah. He's mentioned that several times, and I think it might have something to do with his the condition he has. He's kind of got
No, don't mention it on a live stream. Keep that personal, bro.
yeah.
Oh, but I can see that because I've
Mm-hmm.
always had chronic insomnia ever since I was a kid, and right now I'm actually being treated. I have the diet because I'm being treated for something
Mhm.
called fibromyalgia, and it gives you like muscle pains just randomly because your
You mean is it like a sharp pain, like someone's jabbed you, or
Yeah, it
anything
can be
like that.
like that. It can be like you're getting electric shocks and stuff like that, and it's because your nerves become so raw. So how do you call that in English? Let me.
It's your nervous system what's doing that. Something's happened to your nervous system
Yeah,
where
you're
your
not
nerves is
actually
trying to send
hurt.
your nerves is trying to send messages to the brain, and your brain's trying to figure out what it is. So that's what's causing it.
Yeah.
No, it's more like having the nerves in the raw, in the sense
Mm.
that your nerves are so active that they burn out, and
Yeah.
Mm.
they just send like random signals at some point in your
Yeah.
day,
And
and you
it,
Is
start
it
getting like
is it
pains.
excuse me? Is it like a twitching feeling when you get a random muscle spasm?
Yeah, it can be like that. Yeah, totally.
yeah.
It happened
I
to me
get that
that.
now and again. It's not what you've described, but I do get like a little twitch of my finger here and there, like
That's
unannounced.
you should look into it, because that's how I started. And then one day I woke up and I thought I was having a heart attack. I went to the hospital. I didn't have a heart
Mm.
attack or anything. I'm actually fine
Well,
for
speaking of
for
heart
the most
attacks,
part.
yeah, I have.
No, but for the most part, I'm okay. The thing is that
Yeah.
this
I hope
insomnia
you're all right.
has fucked up my nerves, so I get these muscular spasms and cramps and twitches and all that
Yeah,
randomly.
it's when I normally I've noticed a pattern when I've gone on a mad like binge like a couple of days when I'm detoxing, I do get a twitch in my like finger, and I'm like, what the fuck's this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta take care of that, dude, because that's how I started. I thought it was nothing. I thought I just slept wrong or something, and then
Yeah,
it became more prevalent with time.
what the more the m- when I feel tense is when I'm having an anxiety attack because my body's always tense.
Hmm.
It's sometimes you feel like you're having an heart attack, and sometimes you're gasping
Yeah.
for air. When you fall asleep, you do have like the heart skip where you do gasp for air, and you don't like being around certain people. You like being left alone for your own devices.
I
So
don't. I've never gotten an anxiety attack. I think that's different. I don't know about that, but well, at least in
it's
my case,
scary, mate.
it was because the stress on the nerves got to be a little bit too much, because I've had chronic insomnia since I was a kid, and half my family has had chronic insomnia at some point of
Oh,
their life.
fucking hell, that's wow.
Yeah. I think I have an aunt who has fibromyalgia too. So, and hers is pretty chronic. So,
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's chronic. You don't get away from it. That's why I'm doing like the diet and shit.
mm,
Yo, diet's good. It suppresses it in a way, but you're still gonna have that pain
right.
if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
Hmm.
no, yeah. I'm privately insured, so I'm taking care that way. Like I go to the nutritionist and stuff like that to mitigate the pain, because
Like I've always said, health is wealth. Make sure you
yeah,
look after your health, man.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I know it's not gonna go away, but the best I can do for myself, the better.
Well,
Mm.
just picture me as a disease. What's always in the chat? What trolls the chat? Fucking interacts with the chat, calling them fuckers left, right, and center.
No, but that's a good kind of disease, Like
Oh, you
I
should
don't
have
know,
seen
man.
me last weekend, bro. Proper heckling the fuck out of Angle Team Stream. Angle Team told me to calm down, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just having banter. Fuck them if they hype up. I'm hyping back.
You drove Old Man Comics to his limit.
You know what it is? I don't think I've pushed him to his limit, but he's had to tell me a good couple of times, like, Jay, you shouldn't have said that. You need to, if you get what I mean. But he's laughing at the same time. He
Yeah,
finds it
Yeah.
hilarious. And it's like,
Yeah.
I
But
listen
he's
to advice.
concerned about his audience and his channel.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
doesn't want them to
I
go
don't want to
too,
say something what's gonna
too
drive his
far.
audience away. Sometimes
Yeah.
I don't know, sometimes
If
the
you want
Irish
that type,
comes out with me.
if you want to really go full blown Irish and cause some real havoc and trouble, just ask to be on one of Weapons streams. He'll let you do it. I'm sure. Because last time I watched him do a live stream, which was a while back, I think it was like sometime last week or something. he found out like that, super chat and other certain types of words in chat were being removed by YouTube, profanity or. And the funniest thing was it was just. Well, yeah, he got demonetized like within 20 minutes. Of course, I think that happens to him regardless because of his profanity. But the funny thing was that somebody was in chat and they were they were from Africa. They're from Nigeria or wherever Nigeria is. Terrible at geography.
It's Africa.
Yeah. Yeah, but the person was from Nigeria and he was trying to mention that in chat. And YouTube kept censoring it because they thought he was saying the other word. And that kept happening like multiple times. And then Weapon's just like, okay, everybody just scream as much profanity as possible in chat right now. Because I want to find out how deep the rabbit hole goes on what we're not allowed to say.
I don't even think I'm that bad, to be honest. I'm just someone who gives zero fucks.
Yeah,
it's like you see me go out on a microphone. I'm literally unstoppable when me and Angleton get together. I could take the piss out of somebody and have banter with it, and take the piss out of the fucking stream and still have banter with it.
Yeah, that's true.
I explained to Angleton's stream that I'm playful at the same time when I'm doing it. If somebody can fire back at me, it's like, yo, they're a good person. I do not like butter people.
You don't like what? Butter?
I don't like butter people.
Butthurt people.
Oh, okay. The Irish.
See, Spike understood that.
Isn't that ironic? I'm not an English speaker, but I got that.
Well, I thought that I probably would have gotten it, but it was like, wait, is he saying butter or what? Because the words kind of just melded like together, like in one coherent word, and it sounded like butter.
I think it's because I'm used to
my long lost brother. He understood that, so now me and him are friends now.
No, I think it's a thing from Europe, and have my family from there anyway. The way that words come together in the accents.
We're very creative with our words. In other words,
yeah, it's something that people like. Makes fun of French accents a lot, but French accents are really very similar to a lot of, for example, like Nordic languages. They are so similar to French accent, the way they speak it, not the way they are structured. I think that's why, I don't know, that's why I understood it, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want me to stop being tame and go full-blown Irish, you can understand a couple of other words.
It's either that or hanging with Crumple Point. I don't know.
Dude, I've spoke to Crumple and I love him to bits, but I keep saying to him, I need a couple of beers to understand you. And he tried saying to someone, and I said, "Oh, Scotland's still in the Dark Ages, mate. Shut the fuck up."
Well, so long as it's all in good fun.
How me and Crumple got really talkative because we both like wrestling.
And
we're on about some old school shit, like when Mick Foley got flew off that Hell in a Cell. I'm like, fuck me.
That's quite old, actually. Fucking Mankind.
Yeah.
Is Mankind still around? I don't even know that.
He's nearly 50, man.
And he's still wrestling?
Yeah, he does look like Terry Funk. Terry Funk is 70 something and he's still going at it.
I don't think Mick Foley competes nearly as much as he used to, but he's around.
No, he's hip. It's his hip. He's had loads of hip surgeries and shit.
Yeah. To compete. What are you doing, Cat?
Like the main things I follow is the indie scene, like Ring of Honor, New Japan, all that stuff.
That's where all the good stuff is happening.
Like the word on the street is Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Young Bucks, fucking, they're all going to WWE next year, and I'm like, nah, they'll destroy them.
Cody's going back. Don't go back.
That's what I'm thinking. Did you watch All In? Did you watch All In nights?
I don't really know where to watch Ring of Honor or New Japan
Did you watch the All In pay-per-view?
Was that for WWE? Because I don't
No,
know.
that were Cody
I
and
don't.
Young Bucks pay per view. What they literally got
Oh.
1,000 and some people slapped into arena, and it were all sold out, and it were called All In, and that's where Cody won the NWA World's title.
Oh wow. Well, I know that he'd won the title. I don't know how many times he's won it, or if he's only
He's won it
once.
first time. He's won it that one time.
Yeah. The last time when
Just
I saw
for
him, like in an
Mhm.
I saw him on an interview a while back, and from what it seemed like, he was still the champion at that point. So, well, that was the interview was like months
You've
ago.
got to read like what I do. I read dirt sheets and stuff like websites. So I'm very up to date about storylines, what's happening in the indie scene.
Yeah,
So I'm not spoiling
I'm not
anything.
as
I'm not spoiling
that's fine.
anything.
I'm not as up to date. I mean, I barely
Like,
watch wrestling. I used to watch it a lot more,
like the
but
greatest thing I ever saw when I was 15, I went to Manchester Arena, and I saw Eddie Guerrero live.
oh, that's
Oh,
a
Eddie
good time.
Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero, yeah. Viva la raza.
That would be a fun time. That's for sure.
Dude, how slick he were in the ring. It was godlike. He owned the crowd in the palm of his hand, and he didn't have to do a single thing. And I've always said to people, body language goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. In that type of profession, absolutely.
No, it's in any profession. Your
Yeah.
body language, your facial expressions go a very long way in any trade you are an elite in, like comics, speaking wise, like fucking art. You transition body language onto a canvas. Your canvas is basically this, what you're doing now. You are literally giving you are transitioning your ideas into words, what are manifesting into reality. Despite you understand what I'm coming from.
Well, yeah, in the sense that most of communications is, how you uh, how your body moves, and it tells a lot. Like for example, with even with comics, and not even being the comic writer, but in comics, you can make if you have a good enough penciler that can draw emotions and bodies and stuff like that so perfectly, you wouldn't even need dialogues. You could just watch the panels and understand the whole thing just because of how a character moves and stuff. And even people who play, for example, like professional poker players, they need to control their body language, because
they need to control the mannerisms and the facial expressions. When they give that key facial expressions off, that's it. GG, boom, done.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they
it's like my profession, boxing. You got to keep yourself composed. Your body language. You tell a story in that ring, and when it's game time, you basically. My profession is a bit like poker. Everybody keeps the best hands to themselves until that final moment where you give that look, you give your body language, you tell that motherfucker, yeah, I own you, bitch. What? It's like in anything. It's like could be in a podcast when you're owning somebody, when you're debating, when you're drawing. How you handle yourself in life, confidence is your main asset.
That's how serial killers pick their victims usually. Like the body language tells them, like, yeah, this person's not gonna put on a fight. That's how they get so good. They can read people very well.
I mean, if you could read somebody's body language, that means you're a very highly intelligent person to pick up key points in how a person acts, how they portray themselves, the mannerisms, how they speak, their hands gestures, and how the facial expressions and the look of their eye. That's how you can tell somebody's legit. Same with drawing, same with comics.
Yeah, even with fucking, like, that's how you know a girl.
Yeah,
like, you have a chance.
spike nose. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go, boy.
Please don't. I've had to contend with
No,
this
I'm gonna
type
tell
of...
you though, night. It's fucking on the 7th. I've got a date with a stripper.
No, thanks. I'll pass.
What's wrong with strippers?
Uh,
Don't be a hater, bruv. Don't be a hater. Don't be that
I
guy.
don't hate them.
You mean,
Hey,
what?
people have free will, and they're free to do what they want.
But here's
That's
the thing.
not what I'm into.
Here's the thing. I don't find her in that way. That's the maddest shit about it.
Hmm.
It's just like, yeah, she always asks about my dog, and I'm like, you don't ask about me, do you?
Well, if you know how to use a dog properly, it can be your wingman.
Dude, that dog gets more pussy than me. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean,
it's like
that-
everybody
that-
says
that
to me, "How do you do it?" It's like the dog.
That and being a single father with a baby, I think, are like the top, chick magnets I know of.
No, it's weird because the dog's just there, and it's like, whose dog's this? It's like mine. Can you bring it back to me, please? It's fat and fluffy. Just bring it back over here. And they're like, "What's his name?" He gave me his part. It's like George. Wagwan, you want my number?
interesting.
No, listen, mate, get a dog. Trust me, they'll work wonders.
I would, but our cat hates all other forms of life
cat.
other than us. She is very well. One, she's scared of dogs. She doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Whenever we've had a dog in the house, she goes and hides, which is not a good sign. And she hates other cats. So yeah,
she's a female alpha.
Yeah, pretty much. She is the queen of the castle as far as she's concerned.
Yeah, a bit like my dog until I walk downstairs and he's just like, "Give me food now," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I have to feed him my food because he don't want his normal dog food. It's give me some of that.
Yeah, that's the only time they're fucking friendly. Mine does that too all the time.
No, the funniest thing though, Spike, he will literally put his paw on your hand and stick his face in your food just to make sure he gets it.
Well, the one I have now is very polite, but the one I had before, I remember once I went with my grandfather to eat at some remote mountain, and they were making like tacos and stuff, and the fucker went and ate all the tacos of the other people, and I had to pay for them. He was like a little Wolverine type of dog. The fucker just did whatever he wanted, and he knew how to fight even larger dogs because he wasn't that big.
Oh, my dog's like that. Any dog what comes into my house, he's very territorial. He's like, yeah, he's the alpha, but when I walk down, he's like, woof, wagging his tail. What the fuck are you doing? I can't be mad at him. I'm you can call me fucking whatever, but a man's best friend is your greatest best friend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Hey,
I don't. That's why I I don't think I can do a cat. I have nothing against cats, but it's not the same.
They're too sly, man. Cats are too sneaky. They're not loyal.
They are like their own person. Somewhat.
They're very independent.
Yeah, exactly.
They do what they want to do. Dogs are.
Carry on. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say dogs are pack animals, so they require some sort of companionship.
No,
cats
dogs
don't really.
Dogs imprint on an alpha. The owner they recognize that as the alpha.
Yeah, and that's a pack mentality because they were bred from wolves.
But cats are bred just being their own rogues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at all forms of wild cats, there's very few wild cats out there that work as units or stay together for long periods of time.
Tigers do. The females hunt while the males stay there.
Some tigers do stay together. I mean, when wild cats are younger, they might
Mhm.
stay together for several years
I mean,
before they separate.
lions stay in a pride, don't they?
Yeah, they're like the only cat that has any form of pack mentality. The others don't.
No, but
The only
have you
Go
guys
ahead.
watched this? There's this YouTube channel, very good, called Tier Sue, and it takes all, like, for example, all felines and ranks them
Mhm.
like they were RPG characters. Like this, like this type has these powers and this type has these powers. The
Mhm.
guy was explaining that cats aren't really a domestic animal. They are just
No.
like their own guy. And when they kill, for example, when they kill a dog or a rat or something and they bring it to you, it's because in their minds they are teaching
It's a
you
present.
how
It's
to
a
hunt.
present.
Yeah, not really a present. It's training.
It's like the one thing what I was looking at like a couple of months ago was a liger. Excuse me.
A what?
It's called a liger. Basically, it's
Yeah.
a tiger and a lion bred together.
Yeah,
I've
And
never seen
trust
that
me,
one.
just
it's a
Spike, have
rare
you got a
thing.
laptop in front of you or are you on your phone?
I'm checking it out right now.
Yeah,
Right, type in liger.
yeah. I know about these things. I've seen
See the size of this fucker you looking at now.
Yeah, I actually didn't know they could interbreed. I wasn't aware.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
can.
can. There is one downside though. The ligers themselves cannot breed afterwards.
Yeah, yeah, it's like
They're
mules.
sterile. They're sterile. They can't.
And you see the size of them.
Yeah. They're big.
Yeah. That's when you create a hybrid.
Yeah.
A bit like what I am.
It's very much what a liger is. It's not something that you would see in the wild.
No, because they don't know. The thing about a hybrid of that mentality is, excuse me, they will not know how to reproduce in the wilds. They won't know how to function in the wilds properly. Like
Right.
the only thing what came close to function in the wild, a couple of hunters shot a polar bear and a grizzly bear mixed into one.
Mm.
And damn, this thing was massive.
A polar
They
bear
didn't
mixed
even know
with a
what the hell.
grizzly?
It was basically a polar bear breeded with a grizzly bear. And a couple of hunters
What?
shot the damn thing, and they didn't know what it was.
Well, yeah. If it's 5 times its normal size, or
Yeah.
significantly larger than a grizzly bear or a polar bear, and doesn't look entirely like a standard polar bear.
If anybody's into cryptozoology, basically look like a short-faced bear. I mean, we're going back millions and millions of years ago where these motherfuckers rolled around and killed our ancestors.
Interesting.
Man, this thing was built like a tank.
Yeah. Most bears are.
No, this
Even
thing was hench.
This one's bigger than that.
Yep.
It's like, oh, this one's the tiny tank. Here's the big war machine.
This is the tank you need in a raid. What's 2 OP?
Yeah.
I wonder if you cross a dog and a wolf, does the pup can reproduce? Do you guys know that?
I used to have a dog that had wolf blood, and she had pups.
Yeah, they can normally still do it. Depends on, I think, what dog they're bred with, probably.
Yeah, I mean, not a Chihuahua. I mean, you killed the fucking
Fuck the Chihuahua, my ex had one. They annoyed me.
No, I mean, the fucking wolf would wear that Chihuahua like a condom.
Well,
use it as a side chick.
What was it? I remember my cousin had like a very small dog, and it bred with a black lab. It was a very, basically big male dog with a tiny female dog, and she had about 3 puppies.
You
that
mean
had
a
to be
litter?
C-sectioned out.
What did I have? I used to have an American bulldog. Big fucking thing. Big dog. Had to get rid of it.
Mhm. Was he too alpha for you?
No, it would just. He knew who the boss was, but let's just say when the car pulled up, he put his paws up and he was the size of the fucking roof.
Oh boy.
I had to get rid of him.
Yeah. If you're living in an area that's a little bit more confining, you don't want a big dog running around.
That's why I like my Springer Spaniels.
Yeah, my family did kind of, well, my cousins had the dogs, but the dogs were taken care of by my family as well. So one of the cousins' dogs was a big old mutt. He basically just looked like an oversized German Shepherd because he had like some Saint Bernard and Retriever or Lab. He was just a big German Shepherd that we couldn't control.
German Shepherds are nice dogs, but if it's uncontrollable, not good.
Well, he wasn't violent or anything. He was 2 years old, so he's still technically a puppy.
Still in training.
Still in training. He was hard to handle because considering he's a lot bigger than a normal shepherd and weighing probably closing at about almost at 100 pounds or getting close to it, probably well over 80 and a lot of muscle and a lot of strength and power. He would break the chain in the backyard. Whatever chain that we locked him in on, because he was an outdoor dog, he snapped it every chance he got. Sometimes it would take maybe a week, couple days, but eventually that chain gave way and he was off to the races.
Yeah, you want to hear a mad story? My dog managed to run into my conservatory door and take the hinge off just by running into it.
Really?
Yep. That's the type of power that I'm kind of describing that this dog had.
And the funniest thing is I can pick George up with no problem, but that dog's got some fucking power on him. For a Springer Spaniel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Isn't like, it's like the size of my foot, man. I have a big foot.
My Springer comes up to my chest. And I mean, he's a purebred. When he ran into that conservatory door, I heard the finger. I'm like, my God.
But yeah, the dog that we had, he broke chains. And when he broke some of the chains, he went to because we had a neighbor who lived behind us who raised like some farm animals, some llamas, a lot of chickens. And you can imagine that, okay, we have a very strong dog that is highly determined to get the chicken. Yeah, that doesn't go over very well, especially considering the guy never kept them cooped up on a regular basis. So he let them out. And we had the dog. He lost some chickens. Let's just put it that way. He lost a couple because he was stupid and he didn't listen to us. And we told him, do not let them out. They shouldn't be roaming the neighborhood anyway. Although we are a little bit out in the sticks, but they shouldn't be out, especially if there are dogs and other forms of predators out. And there are, like coyotes and cougars and some bears. You shouldn't be letting them loose. Unless you're prepared for the consequences. Well,
are you in Oregon or Washington?
Oregon.
Yeah.
Right, give me a minute, gentlemen. Just slip into the toilet.
Sure.
Go right ahead. Basically, let's see. The first time it happened, the dog broke the chain and he got loose. And he killed, I think, one of the chickens. Neighbor yelled at us. This dog did not like the neighbor because he growled at him because, the guy always yelled at him. So his hair would like stand up and he'd be growling. So it's clear that these two are never going to get along. Funny he brought an anchor chain from a boat. He's like, put this on your dog. I'm I'm like, well, I don't know if it can fit. It's a decently sizable anchor chain for like probably like one of those aluminum boats for an anchor. We tried it. That didn't work either because eventually you broke that one too. Inevitably. The one thing that was, what was it? One time, the second time that the dog actually killed a chicken, my cousin was trying to take him for like a walk, and he was putting him on a leash with the other dog, and the chickens were loose. Next thing my cousin knows, his arm is literally almost being pulled out of its socket because the dog is trying to charge after the chickens.
Oh, damn.
And he had two options. Get his arm broken or let the dog go. Guess what he chose? Let the dog go. It was like, because like I said, this dog had power behind him, so you could let the dog do what it wants.
Well, one of my exes, when I used to go out with her when I was like 18, she had one of them Russian dogs with the size of a fucking bear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I knew straight away how powerful this dog was, but it was soft.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's been trained right.
Yeah. But looks can be deceiving.
Yeah.
Be careful. Any dog can become a predator if they're not trained properly.
Well, but I think that the are you talking about a Siberian Husky?
Yes.
Yeah, those I think are the closest to a wolf you can have.
Yeah. Them
ones
and
are a big ball of fluff, but meat heads.
Yeah, them and the Alaskan Malamutes are the closest to wolves. And they're normally treated fairly similarly to wolves when it comes to, like, if they're part of dog sled teams and whatnot. They're treated pretty much almost the same as wolves. The only difference is they're normally chained.
Right, basically, my desktop, what I've got in front of me, is the size of my king-size bed, and this is the same size as that dog.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that would be a big dog. We have, in the neighborhood we live in right now, there's what is it called? A Mastiff? There's a Mastiff
Siberian, whatever they're called, dogs, they are bred from wolves, aren't they?
I think they are the closest genetically to a wolf.
Yeah,
and they kill bears and shit, and it's like, what the fuck?
They're capable of it. But yeah, like I was saying, in our neighborhood, we got a couple that has a giant Mastiff who's freaking huge. Named Jasper.
Sounds like a friendly dog.
Yeah, those
no,
things,
it sounds friendly.
I'm like 6'4", and my cousins had a Mastiff, and it was my size when it stood up in two legs.
Yeah, that would
I'm
basically
a pretty tall guy.
Right.
And that fucking thing had the head as big as mine.
Mm-hmm. They do. They're huge. There's a lot of dogs out there that are bred to be large beasts. Although
but the lifespans is gonna be shit though.
Yeah.
And
that's why you normally don't go. Yeah. It's why you normally don't go for purebred dogs, because the genetic pools they've been interbred.
Oh, my dog's purebred, and he's alive since I was 18.
Oh, that's not bad.
He's still going strong. He's still fucking young. He's getting a bit podgy though because I overfeed him.
Yeah. Well, of course, with dogs, there's always with purebred dogs, there's always the exception to the rule. Obviously, some are going to live longer than others, but the thing that most people recommend is they recommend just go out and find a mutt, because sometimes they can be.
I like springers too much. They're just dopey and lovable and fluffy and fat. I don't know what it is about that dog.
Yeah. Oh, I've had a purebred dog before too, for a couple weeks. I couldn't keep him because he was just
when you get that bond with your dog and he's that family friendly and you can just put your hand underneath his mouth and he just don't do nothing. He just licks you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of how, considering I've been gone for a couple weeks, that's kind of what was I was uh taking care of a friend's house, and she has 3 small dogs of different breeds, and they're very friendly towards me. They like to
I mean,
sleep next to you.
The community's missed you, bro. Don't even tell people I said that. You can't.
I will shout it from the rooftop now because
No,
you told me
but
not.
I had to my first dog, the one that stole the tacos, was a mutt, and my second dog is
I can't believe that. Tacos,
it's
man.
it's an old English Shepherd, and I do see the difference. Like the mutt was much more independent and smarter, and the mutt, being an old English Shepherd, does act a certain way and is very dependent on on me.
Mm.
You know,
Mhm.
that's it's weird because you wouldn't think that the purebred programming would be that strong, but it actually is.
Yeah,
Well,
it is. It's
the
incredibly
funniest thing
powerful.
about my dog is he will bark at people, but if I have a female, like a friend next to me, he does not bark. He just puts his paw out. I don't know what it is about this fucking dog, but I think,
Mm.
like I've always said, pets take after their owners.
Yeah.
If that's like, but every time I have a woman in front of me, he does not bark. He just puts his paw out. He just wags his tail, has a little sniff, and then just wags his tail, puts his paw out. I'm like, the fuck are you trying to do, George?
Maybe he's just you're confused and he's a poonhound.
I don't know what that dog's doing, but he gets more pussy than me. I'm telling you that now.
Well, but yeah,
It,
dogs breeding when they have certain behaviors, and this can be for like cats as well,
mhm.
because the cat we have is a Siamese mainly. She's for the majority Siamese.
Hmm.
She's a flame point, but it's still a Siamese cat. So they have the penchant and habit of crying or meowing for long periods of time to get attention. And
Yes.
she does that. Not to the same annoying extent that I've seen other Siamese do, but she does cry when she wants something. She lets you know. Uh,
It is. Well, when I used to have a cat, she used to claw on my bedroom when I was like a teenager because she always slept on my bed. She was the alpha out of the 3, and when she got really sick from eating rat poisoning from the next door neighbours when I was little, and what she did before we put her down, she stayed on my bed for like 2 days. She would not leave my side.
oh, that's nice.
Mm.
It's a sweet thing.
But
The one thing that I know for my friend's dogs, one of them is a mini pincher.
Hmm.
And this breed is known to be very single-minded and very stubborn. So training them is a challenge.
Sounds like a
And
woman
it
then.
shows. It is a girl, so it makes sense. It adds up. All the dogs are girls, but she's very stubborn. When she was a puppy, she was far worse than she is now. She was aggressive. She tried to bite you to get her way. She would not listen to any
That's
form of
how
commands.
young. That's how young minds work. You're not telling me, Knights, when you were a kid, you used to bite people.
No, I think I had, yeah, at least once or twice.
That's
I think when I got, I think
that's
we
how
did
you
that.
nurture a young mind. When you've like with a child, a pup, I wouldn't. In a way, you do treat them in the same sense. You nurture them till they can walk. You train them what's right and what's wrong, and that much.
Yeah.
When they mature a little bit more, it's all to do with programming in the brain.
Hmm.
Not saying
Yeah.
the robots, but you use the
No.
same methods.
Yeah, you can use. There are similar methods to like raising a child that you can apply to raising a dog,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa. Though
But you
I
can't do
would
it
not
with cats.
recommend telling.
You can't do it with cats. Don't give a
Um,
fuck
it,
what you
it,
say.
it on rare occasion you can train a cat, but it is not an easy task.
They're too. They're too.
I have seen some trained cats before. It's rare, but it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure it takes a lot more dedication and work than it would to train a dog. Unless the dog breed you're contending with is obstinate and hard to train.
Delete, obsolete. Right, back on topic because we're probably boring you fucking viewers.
What viewers?
Yeah, we kind of lost a couple because we went on to the dog subject. There must be cat owners. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they had somewhere else to go, and that's fine. You know, having good conversation is fine. I don't mind.
Good conversation is better than having viewers, if you get what I mean. Because that's something you can never take away from you.
That's true. It's better to just have the good conversation. I mean, this happened when we did the stream last time with Spike and Comic Boom.
Holy shit! I just discovered something. Sorry for interrupting, but it's
go for it, man.
Kind of unnerving. Do you know this guy who's representing Mark Waid in his lawsuit?
Right,
Mark Zaid.
Mark Zaid. Yeah.
I'm gonna share you his YouTube profile and look at his liked videos.
Okay.
Where do I how do I put something in the chat? Here it is. Here's the link in the group chat in the live in the hangout.
Okay. All right.
Check the like videos, please, and tell me I'm not crazy.
Hold on a sec. Let me get on here with my potato of a computer. Give me a sec. This might take a while.
I think you guys gotta be shocked.
US. Let me check here. Look at that subscriber count. Isn't that impressive?
Oh, never mind the subscribers. I have no subscribers, but look at the like videos. Isn't that very creepy? But very creepy.
Well, on the first video that's available, US failed to protect its own.
No. Liked videos, not uploads.
Oh, sorry. I was looking in the wrong area. I was looking at his own videos. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh. That is weird. What the frick?
Yeah. Is this guy's like fucking sex offender or something?
That's a good question. I'm not going to accuse him of such crime, but at the very least, this is highly suspect. Are we sharing this?
I don't think so. But are you still there, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you the titles of these videos. Top 10 prettiest Disney Channel stars. Top 10 Disney girls. Selena Gomez from a child to woman. What would you think about a guy whose only liked videos are those?
Nonce.
I'd be relatively creeped out. Very, very creeped out.
Yeah,
actually.
Considering this guy's like a single lawyer in his 40s or 50s.
It's creepy and makes me question things, that's for sure.
Oh, maybe this is the reason he's so worried about Comicsgate. Usually, people who are offenders are like feminists and shit.
I wonder if
Fucking hell.
anybody else. I wonder if anyone else has shared this type of information.
It's I'm sharing it right now to his Twitter.
Oh, are we sure that that's his channel and not some troll account?
If it's a troll account, it's very well made because it has a video from him from 8 years ago.
Okay.
Countdown,
Just
some weird number.
yeah,
Mark said.
Yeah, I saw that.
Actually, most of the videos are from 8 years ago.
Yeah, all 4 of them. All 4. That's a bit suspect, that's for sure. I don't know. Don't like accusing people of crimes that they have never committed, but at the very least, this is a bit concerning.
Yeah, it's creepy. At least it's not normal.
At the very least, it's creepy. Well, it's kind of the same thing with like what happened with James Gunn. It's just creepy and weird.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
Highly inappropriate and pretty inappropriate.
Especially for like he's not even like an edge. I mean, the difference between James Gunn and this guy is like James Gunn is an edgelord, and he's made films like Slither and shit. This guy's a lawyer.
Yeah. A sleazy, dirty, no good lawyer.
Shit, oh, my ex were a lawyer.
What?
My ex were a lawyer.
Who is a lawyer?
My ex.
Oh, your ex?
Who is Max? Oh, your ex is a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Got me
My
10 years
brother-
out of prison.
I apologize to your ex then.
Nah, don't
Not
apologize.
all lawyers are bad. Not all lawyers are terrible.
No, don't apologize. She's a slag.
Oh, I'm just being polite. You know me.
Don't be polite.
I don't because people there's always that the going theory for most like exes and whatnot is that you hate each other's guts in some form or another. But you never know. There's always that rare chance of there's just a mutual breakup and you don't hate each other.
Not with this shit.
Covering my bases, man.
Stop it.
It's one of those. You never know. That's the point. I'm doing my best not to assume things.
Though
Spike, I feel bullied.
Good. No.
Though I don't know if
emotions
this
causing
guy
karma.
deserves like the benefit of the doubt because at the same time he prescribes. Oh, I mean, he thinks you are a racist, sexist, whatever.
Yeah, well. Oh boy.
Yeah, but this got weird very fast. So sorry about that.
Oh, you
No.
don't need to be apologized about that, Spike. I make conversations go weird all the time on podcasts.
No, but I mean, this is the guy who is in the diversity in comics trial, and he's a fucking creep at least.
What did I say to Switchpoint to fuck with him? I said if I wanted to buy Comics Kit, I would.
If it was for sale.
I mean, if it was, and plus I know people what work for me, what do other shit, who says I wouldn't want to buy it? Nah, probably won't work. You know what it is? Not
Someone
to be
already.
offensive, I probably won't even make my money back off of it.
No, you wouldn't. Just look at what all you gotta do is look at Fox Day and what he tried to do, and you know that you're not gonna make any money off it.
Nah.
If anything, you're gonna piss everybody off.
Let him come at me. I don't give a fuck.
Well, no, not no. Vox learned his his lesson the hard way, from what I could understand. When you try and take ownership of something that doesn't have any.
No. I wouldn't want to take ownership of it. I just want to buy it. I'm like, ha 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 ha. This is mine. You can have it back because it's not worth nothing. I don't mean to offend people on that, but that's my point.
Ah, your point of view is your point of view.
Everybody's got a, you know what it is, and I didn't mean no disrespect when I said that. It would just
Well, considering that I've been,
everybody's got to have a common, like, a goal in life, if you get what I mean. What sets that fire every day you wake up in the morning? It's what you're passionate about, what you will do things for, what you will cross lines for. You gotta have that drive every morning. Like, Spike, I'm sorry if I offended you when I said that.
No, I'm not. I'm not offended at all, dude. It takes a lot to offend me. I'm from Mexico City.
Dude, no, you know, I've always said this. The day somebody offends me is the day I buy them a steak dinner.
Yeah.
No,
I think that's a good
I just want to make sure that I did not offend anybody, if you get what I mean.
No, that's cool, man. You should have ended that with, yeah, the day someone offends me, I'll buy them a steak dinner because they are vegan.
Dude, what the fuck, bro? The day you fucking offend me, I'm buying you a taco, bro. Because I like tacos, so that's great.
You have to try them in my town, dude.
Dude, that's my next stop, Mexico City, bro. That is where I'm
15 minutes away from where I live. The best.
How good are the tacos down there? I've heard they're legendary. The burritos.
Yeah, do you know what the thing about Mexican food is? When you eat it in Mexico, the ingredients are so so natural, in the sense that
tell me how
farmers, you know how farmer markets are like a thing and they are very expensive. Every market here is a farmer's market. We get all the food directly from you know, the guy who fucking planted it.
Dude, all I've been hearing about is Mexico City. It's fucking green chili in the fucking tacos and burritos.
Yeah, exactly. It's the heaven of that. We invented fucking street tacos.
And I've heard that pure, that good. And I'm like, yo, I need that shit in my life.
Okay, well, you guys can talk about tacos.
I'm literally checking flights right now.
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, I just thought, you know, what I mean, Spy, I didn't mean to be disrespectful or anything like that.
No, no, it's cool, man. We're having good, clean fun.
Because I know it'll trigger a couple of people. I've always said to people, though, back your mouth up. If you get what I mean.
I used to live, I mean, I live in a city I live in a country that is like 90% Catholic. And I used to wear like shirts with nuns masturbating.
I'm a Catholic boy and that I'm Irish, so.
I was, well, my dad's side of the family is Catholic, but I'm an atheist. No, the thing is that I'm an edgy boy. I used to wear like black metal T-shirts with nuns masturbating and shit. You're gonna find it very hard to offend me.
Fuck with that shit. I still wear the black. I still listen to the grunge shit. I still listen to Disturbed and the heavy metals.
No, that's the thing, dude. It's gonna be a tough time for you to offend me.
It's like, I've seen too much shit in life. What can offend me? It's like, I've seen shit.
Yeah, no,
especially in my line of work.
What do you do for a living?
Doorman and other shit. Like, I had to retire from boxing because of a heart bypass operation I had in March, and now I do doorman work, and I've got a couple of businesses on the side.
No, yeah, I hear boxing stuff. There's actually a boxing training place not far from my house.
It's good. It disciplines people as well. I've always said, do not box because you think you're a badass. You can knock people out. Just do it for the fun of it. I mean not knocking people out, but I've always said, there's no better drug in the world or adrenaline rush than stepping inside them ropes. That's your high. You're living on adrenaline. That's what I've always said in life. Like, every day you wake up, boom, adrenaline, get in the ring, box, train, boom, win a world title. Like, I've won fucking 4 world titles, man.
That's impressive, dude.
and I'm undefeated. I had to give them
Uh,
up because of the fucking app bypass.
what kind of matches? How does it work over in Ireland, the boxing scene?
It's down to where it's down to negotiatism, and it's down to the timing, the area, what time of the year it is. It's all to do with weight, how skilled you are, what rank you are, your fitness, and if you got a well-known name. Word of mouth, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Technically, comics is like how I would put it, is like going to your punters. That means word of mouth. Going to your going to people who buy your product.
I'm back.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
welcome back. We're talking about how does Irish boxing works.
Ah,
It's like with any boxing. Ireland is the old school. This is where it came from. Bare knuckle. Yeah, I want a title in that. But like what I was saying, it's to do with your punters. What I mean, like your customers, word of mouth. If you can voice, if you can basically sell yourself as a product, sell your camp as a product, sell your comic book as a product, who's got the loudest voice, who's got the largest funding, who's got the largest fucking fan base, and the marketing. Everything is down to marketing. So basically, whoever's got the largest fucking voice gets the punters in. It's like with comic books, gets the fucking flock coming in, to buy their comic books.
yeah. You're not
It's all
wrong.
to do with that.
Very true. It's very true. That's
And
how Western comics work.
as long as you know how to work a crowd.
Do you do the like Saturday night matches or something like that? Is that like a
Yeah,
tradition?
I did that. I did fucking press conferences. Where do you know how do you like that's how I got so good at shit talking with people, like trash talking, because it's a weird thing. When I'm talking to you a lot about comics, but when I'm with like my boys like Anglantine and stuff like that, I see it as a division. I'm still in boxing modes. I see everybody as a competitor to me. I see who's a weight class, what division, what rank they are, and I see who is on my level. If you get what I mean, Spike.
Yeah, no, I understand. Like I'm not a boxer, but I live in a place with 21 million people, so it's hard to get by around.
Yeah, but do you understand what I mean? But when you're on a live stream, when you're with Frugal, Anglantine, and a couple of randomers, and you want to see who's on the level playing field with you.
Yeah,
It's like that. That's me. I
yeah,
go. I go
like
in.
your
I
tribe.
go in.
Yeah,
I go in as a with a boxer's mentality.
yeah.
That's me.
You like to measure yourself.
It's there's nothing sweeter than triggering somebody, bro, in a fucking hangout. It's like someone told me they sent me a private message. What like watches Anglantine when I'm on? She's very close to me. She says, "Jonathan, you need to stop doing that." I'm like, "What do you mean? Like going in with that boxer's mentality? Like everybody's at war with you? It's like it's only fun."
I'm with it.
So it is like Knight's witnessed it. I'm sure you witnessed it, Spike, when I literally fucking just boom one shot people and they don't know what to say towards me.
Yep. I've seen that type of thing happen before. Mainly in Discord.
Dude, I've had to leave a couple of Discords. It was getting too drama for me, bro.
Oh, I don't blame you for that. I seen it. I saw it happen. I think that it happened in Weapons Discord, especially. That's the one I remember. Because I think and for the most part, he just, from what I understand of it, he just abandoned it and then invited me to the new one. You know.
Well,
and he left.
apparently,
I guess he left the other Discord open for for people to.
bitch and moan about
I guess kind of.
SJWs 24/7.
I don't think that was his intention because he knew that there were people who were stalking his Discord and whatnot, who could not be trusted. Who were,
I mean, I've had to leave a creative Discord because the SJW talk were getting too much. I'd rather go in there. You seen what I'm like with Grim and all them, man. I'm just like, yo, let's have banter, bro.
Yeah, just friendly trash talk.
And then creative people went in like, yo, have you heard about these SJWs politics? I'm like, nah, shut the fuck up.
Eventually, it gets to the point where you don't.
And you hear it over and over again, don't you? It's like the same recycled shit over and over again. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck?
It's kind of the reason why I distance myself from Comicscape for the most part. I'm more of the outlier. I support people, but it's like it's not the same that it was like 2 years ago when it came to comic books.
It's like fucking when people get offended when I say, oh, Captain Cummings is my bitch. Me and Cummings are boys.
Well, considering that I've had my fair share of it's the weird thing. It's like people have their own types of mentality of how they want to, fight the good fight. And it's like, well, problems arise. One, you're looking for dragons to fight. The same that the social justice warriors are doing. So you're doing the same thing they're doing. Because not everything I'll give fair credit. A lot of the comic books nowadays are trash and aren't worth the money that they're printed on half the time. But that doesn't mean that every single one of them is an SJW slog of bullshit.
It's to me, it's you're going on a mad witch hunt for something that's not even there.
I have to beg to disagree in that sense, and my perspective is from looking it from the inside. Like,
you were in this inside, weren't you?
I used to work at Marvel, and I used to work at comics, at comic conventions and stuff, and I saw how it started and how things have gone downhill gradually. I mean, of course, what you say is true, Nightwolves. There are comics which are good. You have to look for them. But in general, it has had a negative effect in the whole industry. The SJW thing.
I didn't mean it in a bad way, Spike, when I said
no, I'm not. I think it's important to talk things out because yes, there is people who are like SJW this, SJW that, and
exactly.
You don't have to review those comics if you don't like them. Like I don't do it in my channel.
I don't. I don't
buy comics I don't like.
No, but despite the main problem, what I've got is when they go over the same shit over and over again and go on about SJWs, they become part of the problem. What I do not want to hear about, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because Comicsgate should be first and foremost about the comics, not the SJWs.
Comicsgate should be for everybody who's so nerdy that they feel accepted. If you get what I mean, like Comicsgate is to bring everybody together.
I think that's why I preferred other hashtags because the Comicsgate just the wording alone brings negative connotation to it. So, and since it was thrust upon most of the community in general, it's it overall just it's using it is while amongst the people who are within that community are on your side, other people won't be. People who are either sitting on the fence or who don't agree with the methods or tactics, they're not going to go along with it. And obviously you're never going to get along with the social justice nutcase crowd either. So
I was watching somebody's podcast today, and they were going on about how the Venom film was so bad, and there's me thinking, I will give you £1 million right now if you can make a better film.
I can.
I mean, Spike, you could. Fuck me, you got tacos.
No, the thing about the Venom film, and I mentioned it in my review. it gets very well apart about Venom and the relationship with the symbiote, which is the most important part.
Hmm.
But it does have its flaws, and I can
Oh,
Yeah.
understand how
like
the
what any film doesn't have its flaws.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
know,
this
but this
this
one
film
has a
right
lot of
now,
them.
this film,
Yeah.
erase Spider-Man 3. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, I can understand that statement I would agree on.
I mean,
Yeah.
the chemistry with Eddie Brock and Venom were hilarious, absolutely
Oh,
hilarious to me. And this
yeah,
was the one film where what I were looking forward to. And some prick said on a podcast, you could tell on one scene where Tom Hardy read the script and he just didn't give a fuck. Really? Are you inside this person's head?
not only that, it is publicly known that Tom Hardy was improvising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom Hardy
So he
added
wasn't
his
reading
input.
off
So
the.
technically, this person on I'm not even naming no names because this guy's a prick. I saw his face and his face annoyed me first time. So it was just like, yo, this one scene, yeah, you could tell fucking Tom Hardy didn't want to be there. He just went full on. Right? Really? Are you inside of a method actor's head? Do you know this person? Does he send you
Yeah.
Christmas cards? Come.
Yeah. And from I think we talked about it, Tom Hardy is a method actor, isn't he, Spike?
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that part. I don't
Yeah, he
personally
is.
know
He
if he is.
absolutely. Yo, dude,
I
Tom Hardy
remember
is a
someone
method actor
saying that he
because
was
have
a
you ever
method
seen a film
actor, but
called
I couldn't.
Bronson? Bronson,
I haven't seen that one
Yeah,
before.
it's
based
a
on based on
it,
our true legend in prison. The guy what literally in sologation for 10 years.
Hmm.
it's a very violent but entertaining movie.
Dude, I didn't even think it were a comedy, and I was laughing at it.
But yeah, I mean, when someone's a method actor, they're go and if the director gives them enough leeway, they're going to improvise lines and parts.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, I
Like
think
Tom
Because
Hardy
you
is
most
want
up
of the
there.
outtakes were improvisation parts.
yeah.
Like Tom Hardy even said in an interview, like 40 minutes got cut out of the Venom film, the good stuff.
Mm. He did
Uh,
mention that 40 minutes were cut out. So
yeah, like I watched the Venom film and I fucking loved it.
mm. I had a good time.
Even when
I
Venom
really
called him a pussy, I loved it.
that was actually one of my favorite parts. Was it's all like pussy. That was actually one of the highlights of the entire movie because I can remember that.
What else he said? Yeah, I told you he's got some shit what you never seen. Fuck it, let's save the world.
The part when they're
Uh,
trying to actually go into the building that Eddie used to work at, and he's like, "Let me eat him." He's like,
and,
"No, we
he's,
don't eat good people."
and there's him jump, pussy.
Yeah,
Well, the other part where he was like, where Eddie Brock's just kind of looking up after they're kicked out of or after they left the building. He's like, "Oh, you want up? Why didn't you just say so?" And he just takes over and just brings him all the way up, and he's like, "I like this spot."
It was
He's
that
like, "I
Chihuahua
don't do
scene
well
what
with
made me
heights."
laugh. That
Yeah.
Chihuahua scene, and then he calls him a parasite, and Venom gets proper triggered by it.
We are not a parasite. Yeah, he doesn't like to be called a parasite.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
saying
was
that
it?
to Feisty after I watched it. I said, "We are real Jay," and he just started laughing right off. Mm,
Yep.
funny as fuck, man! I can't not wait for the second, like the sequel.
Kitty kitty.
I
I
think there's
mean,
gonna be a sequel. It made enough money. I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Woody Allen. I wouldn't recommend him as Carnage though, but mm,
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
yeah, whatever his fucking name is, the dude out of Kingpin with the bowling ball.
I didn't mind him. I thought he was a good choice, especially because his role in Natural Born Killers. I think he can
Yo,
bring it.
that dude is a method actor. Trust me. Natural Born Killers is still one of my all-time favorite films.
Hmm.
just that was his performance. What gave him the Kickstarter?
Hmm.
The only thing I didn't like was the hair because he did look like Sideshow Bob.
Yeah, he did actually. He looked like sideshow Bob on meth.
He's a meth
Come-
actor.
Mm,
He does meths and acts.
What is
but
it?
come on, anybody what's hating on the Venom film is a I don't know. I don't know what they were watching, but I enjoyed the damn thing.
Yeah, it's a good.
No, I did have a great time watching it, though.
But it did have its flaws, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. I would basically say it's a really fun and enjoyable popcorn movie.
Mhm.
And at least it's more memorable than most of the Marvel movies
I
that I've
need that as
watched.
my messaging tone, Venom pussy.
Make it your ringtone.
Nah, my ringtone is shipping up to Boston.
Hmm.
The only thing I hope is if they make a second one, they need to make it an R movie. They
Yeah.
definitely need to make it
Because
an R movie.
apparently this was going to be R-rated, but the director went, I don't know what the fuck he was smoking at the time, but...
It was the Sony executives that made that decision.
Oh, was it Sony? Fucking pricks.
Yeah, I think so.
Sony does that a lot, where they make really bad decisions.
Yeah, we're going to do cross-platform. No, we're not. We're going to have mods on Fallout 4. No, we're not. Yes, we do. But PC Master Race, yeah, we can mod the fuck out of that game, make anime, and get the titties out.
Hmm. Yeah, they've just been. They do all sorts of weird and really bad business practices.
Why do you think I don't fuck with console no more? Why do you think I've got 2 gaming PCs? Why do you think I just rather plug the internet connection cord in and boom, I'm on the internet? Without paying to get online.
I'm not going to say no to that. I want to buy a gaming rig as much as the next person.
I mean,
That's
nice. I could
probably
send
my
you my
next
second one if you
project.
want it.
Really? I'll
I mean,
take
it'll
you
cost
up
you
on
a
that
grand.
offer.
I mean, it'll cost you $1,000.
Nope, I can't afford that.
Fuck.
I don't have that kind of budget. I'm broke. I'm too broke for
Dude,
that.
that's cheap.
Well, I know that there are more expensive ones out there. That
This is built with a 1080 in it.
well, like I said, if I had $1,000 to throw at you, I would, but I do not.
I take bank cards. You can send me the money in bank.
Yeah, unfortunately, the bank would reject it.
I mean, I'll have a word with the bank.
Good luck with that.
You underestimate my power. I'm just quoted fucking Star Wars then.
I know that probably the next thing I'm gonna be working towards for the channel for when it comes to is buying a better PC rig or building one. It's going to take some time, so
I mean, chat to Switch point.
yeah. That was my plan, was to talk to Switch and have him recommend me some very nice budget builds, because I don't need a overly hyper fancy computer. I just want something that
My PC lights up.
good for your PC.
Yeah.
You
No,
want
but
that?
you could go like part by part. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Like I update something here, something there. The
Yeah.
only thing you need to have is like if you have a real good motherboard that can take all the updates, you're set, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
All you need, right? What I started off with because I've got 3 monitors. I started off with the monitors, and I started with a graphics card, then a CPU, motherboard, RAM, all that good shit. And I've got 6 cooling fans in this beast. And I've got 1080s in this.
Yep, it definitely sounds like a monster.
Do you understand what I'm fucking with?
Enough to understand that it sounds like a monster of a computer.
Monster, mate.
Pretty much. That could probably handle pretty much
This
anything.
is the PC what nerfs pussy. I ain't joking when I say that.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I've seen your setup, dude.
What a
I've
godlike
seen it.
PC.
Oh shit!
Now you're making Spike jealous because he ain't seen it.
No, no. I mean, I'm getting work messages.
Oh,
Sorry.
you gotta go to work.
Tell him from me. You need to. They need to update your pay rise, max it out.
It's you know the Geek and Gamers, right? I write for their site, and they are doing some Halloween thing, and they are asking for.
Tell them strippers.
I wish, dude. I wish that was in the budget.
Tell them strippers and tacos.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to log off to write a couple of things.
Yeah, because I'm gonna chip off anyway. Because it's like 2:30 in the morning.
It's like 2 in the morning for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
2:30, and
very
I just want to. I end up saying I'm going to bed. I'll end up going online trolling motherfuckers left, right, and center.
No, it's
But
fine.
yeah,
I
Spike,
was.
it was nice talking to you the first time. Anyway.
Yeah, guys, it was a good chat. We chatted comics and fucking dogs and boxing and shit.
Well, Spike, I hope you get better soon, bro. I really do.
Yeah, thank you, dude. I'll try to, work on that. And
Eat
I hope
ramen.
you guys have a good night. Yeah, I'll try the ramen. I actually need to buy fucking dinner, and I'm gonna have some spicy fucking ramen with.
Yeah, good
chicken.
man. Especially with the broth, man. It will clear your nose out definitely.
We'll get to that, man. Thanks. I'll see.
Let me know how it goes on. I'll follow you on Twitter as well.
Oh, sure. I'll follow you back.
All right, nice man. Right, you lot, take it easy. Yeah, God bless and look after yourself.
Good night, guys.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.